So here is kind of part 2 of titration calculations if you'd like a little more work on them. Now, I completely forgot about this, and I'm kicking myself right now, but this video is supposed to be watched on a Wednesday. I was using the completely wrong pen color. It's Wednesday, so I should be using pink if Mean Girls is, as my first period students know, Mean Girls is my life motto. It's how I try to live my life. Not really, but it is a good movie. So here we go. 4a. What is the concentration of hydroiodic acid if 59.69 milliliters of it is neutralized by 40.39 milliliters of a 0.2968 molar lithium hydroxide solution? Okay. Again, I like to start by figuring out what am I trying to solve for, and then plugging in the rest of our titration formula. So it's asking for concentration of hydroiodic acid. Oh, it's asking for a concentration of the acid. So M sub A is what I'm trying to find. So that is my X. And that means I should know everything else and be able to plug it in. Okay, EA. How many acids are there? It's hydroiodic. Again, review our naming real quick. That's HI, so our acid equivalence is 1. Our volume of the acid, 59.69 milliliters of our acid. Good. For the other side, our molarity of the base, 0.2968 molar, it says lithium hydroxide. For our equivalence, we need our formula again. Lithium we know is Li with a charge of +1. We should hopefully still know hydroxide's -1. So with the formula LiOH, it just has the equivalence of 1. And then it took 40.39 milliliters of that base to reach, again, that endpoint, that equivalence point in our titration. So that's everything set up. So to do the math, we would just go ahead and multiply everything together on the right side. So 0.296 times 1 times 40.39. And then we would just divide that by 59.69. And we would get our molarity of the acid as being with, I think, 4 sig figs, right? Yep, 4 sig figs, 0.2008 molar. That's a terrible 8, but it's supposed to be an 8, 0.2008 molar. And then following up on that, love to do this as a follow-up question. It wouldn't shock me to see this on the test we'll have for this unit coming up actually, it might be next Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday the 22nd. pH, negative log of our H plus concentration. So remember, pH is found by taking the negative log of our acid concentration. Remember, brackets stand for concentration. So we calculated the molarity of that acid. So we take the negative log of 0.2008. And then whenever we're doing pH or pOH, we should always double check. What is our formula? Is there a subscript that might double or triple that concentration? Not with HI. It's monoprotic, 1H, so the concentration would just be the same. So we just take negative log of 0.2008, and we get a pH as being, and again, pH is weird. I think other teachers might be a little bit nicer on this. I like to be exact. Remember, with significant figures for pH, they start after the decimal. So we'd have 4 decimal places for 4 significant figures. We'd have that pH of 0.6972. All right, let's knock out one more problem and then leave you maybe with 7 and 8 to try on your own. So number 5 asks, what is the volume of a 0.8351 molar iron 2 hydroxide solution that we need to neutralize 98.35 milliliters of 0.5417 molar phosphoric acid? So again, I always like to start with, what is my unknown? So it's asking, what is the volume of my iron 2 hydroxide? So I know it's asking for volume, and I just need to think to myself, is it the acid or the base? So you see that word hydroxide there. You see that word hydroxide, we should think base. So we're trying to find V sub B or VB. So that means we should know everything else. So we'd start with our molarity of the acid. Okay, the molarity of the acid, it tells us it's 0.5417 molar phosphoric acid. Our equivalents, we need our formula. Phosphoric acid, that's ternary acid. Remember, phosphate is 3 minus. So we swap and drop. The formula is H3PO4. So the equivalence is 3. And the volume was 98.35 milliliters. And then molarity of the base, 0.8351 molar. Equivalence of the base, iron 2, that means it's plus 2 iron. Hydroxide's minus 1, so we do have to swap and drop there. So our equivalence would be 2. And then we're trying to find the volume of the base. So again, to get volume of the base by itself, I would just divide both sides by that 8351 times 2. So into my calculator, I would do 0.5417 times 3 times 98.35 divided by parentheses 8351 times 2. And we should get our final answer as being volume of the base that we needed with 4 sig figs this time, 95.69 milliliters. Now I will leave the last couple for you to work through. It's actually 6, 7, and 8. And if you have questions, remember we do have daily office hours from 12 to 2. And if people do pop in and ask questions, we will be uploading kind of that work, that explanation, so that way everyone can see what was asked.